So this, Hare Krishna. So this particular chapter on the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam uh, is about the appearance of Lord Ṛṣabhadeva. So Lord Ṛṣabhadeva is Priyavrat Maharaja's grandson. So Priyavrat Maharaja's son was Maharaj Agnidhar, and Agnidhar Maharaja's son is Ṛṣabhadeva. Ṛṣabhadeva is the father of Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj is basically Raj Rishi on whose name the Bharatvarsha is named, and is the same person about which we read the Bharat Maharaj pastime and Jad Bharat pastime. Ṛṣabhadeva is also father of Nava Yogendras, which are also whose pastimes are also explained in like further cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Ṛṣabhadeva is supreme personality of Godhead because Merudevī and Merudevī and his father Maharaj Nābhi, sorry, Maharaj Nābhi. So yeah, so Priyavrat Maharaja's son was Maharaj Agnidhar. Agnidhar Maharaja's son is Nābhi, and then Nābhi's son is Ṛṣabhadeva. So Maharaj Nābhi and Merudevī, they did severe austerities, pleased the Lord Vishnu, and then they requested boon of a child like Lord Vishnu himself. But there cannot be any other person like Lord Vishnu because there is no one second to Lord Vishnu. So Lord took birth as his expansion in the womb of Merudevī. So this particular chapter speaks about, it narrates how they perform yajna and how Lord himself appeared in front of the Brahmanas and the Meru Devi and Maharaj Nabhi, and how he blessed them, and that's how Lord Ṛṣabhadeva, who is supreme personality of Godhead himself, was born. And then after these chapters we'll be seeing that what are the qualities of Ṛṣabhadeva and his how he ruled the kingdom, how he took vanaprastha, sannyas, and how he instructed his 100 sons. So very interesting chapter, and like full of so many enlightening verses and purpose of Srila Prabhupada. We'll try to cover as much as we can. So now, like anyone would like to anything to the introduction? Jagannath Prabhu, Gaur Kumar Prabhu, Nitya Mataji, anyone?
This was good, Prabhu. This was good.
Yeah. So I hope it gave fair idea about where we are heading. Yeah, and I will share my screen, and then we can start reading chapter. One moment. Share entire desktop. Okay. Share. Okay. So it's visible, right? Rose?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we'll start with text one. Yeah. So who like to start reading? Yeah. Yes, Prabhu, please.
Can you hide the text and the text and Devanagari?
Oh, text. Oh yeah, sure.
And the purports
Yeah,
as well.
we just need just the words. And Devanagari translations.
Words, text also, synonyms also need to go. Yeah. And purport also needs to go. No.
Yeah. So just the translations, right? Yeah,
Just
just
the
the
translations need to be
yeah,
there.
yeah. Verse text. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good now, right? Okay.
Yes.
Prabhu, you can also read introduction and then verses if you can.
Okay, sounds good. And till what verse should I go, Prabhu?
So we have how many? Like 20, right? So maybe 10 you can read and 10 other person.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. In this chapter, the spotless character. Okay, chapter 3. This is the fifth canto. Ṛṣabhadeva's appearance in the womb of Merudevī, the wife of King Nābhi. In this chapter, the spotless character of King Nābhi, the oldest son of Agnidhra, is described. Wanting to have sons, Maharaj Nābhi underwent severe austerities and penances. He performed many sacrifices along with his wife and worshipped Lord Vishnu, master of all sacrifices. Being very kind to his devotees, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was very pleased with the austerities of Maharaj Nābhi. He personally appeared before the king in his four-handed feature, and the priests who were performing the sacrifice began to offer their prayers unto him. They prayed for a son like the Lord, and Lord Vishnu agreed to take birth in the womb of Merudevī, the wife of the King Nābhi, and incarnate as King Ṛṣabhadeva. Text 1. Shukdev Goswami continued to speak. Maharaj Nābhi, the son of Agnidhra, wished to have sons, and therefore he attentively began to offer prayers and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the master and enjoyer of all sacrifices. Maharaj Nabhi's wife, Merudevī, who had not given birth to any children at that time, also worshipped Lord Vishnu along with her husband. In the performance of a sacrifice, there are 7 transcendental means to obtain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. First, by sacrificing valuable things or eatables, by acting in terms of place, by acting in terms of time, by offering hymns, by going through the priest, by offering gifts to the priests, and by observing the regulative principles. However, one cannot always obtain the Supreme Lord through this paraphernalia. Nonetheless, the Lord is affectionate to his devotee. Therefore, when Maharaj Nabhi, who was a devotee, worshipped and offered prayers to the Lord with great faith and devotion, and with a pure, uncontaminated mind, superficially performing some yajna in the line of Pravargya, the kind Supreme Personality of Godhead, due to his affection for his devotees, appeared before King Nabhi in his unconquerable and captivating form with 4 hands. In this way, to fulfill the desire of his devotee, the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested himself in his beautiful body before his devotee. This body pleases the mind and eyes of the devotees. Lord Vishnu appeared before King Nabhi with 4 arms. He was very bright and he appeared to be the best of all personalities. Around the lower portion of his body, he wore a yellow silken garment. On his chest was the mark of Srivatsa, which always displays beauty. He carried a conch shell, lotus flower, disc, and club, and he wore a garland of forest flowers and Kaustubha gem. He was beautifully decorated with a helmet, earrings, bangles, belt, pearl necklace, armlets, ankle bells, and other bodily ornaments bedecked with radiant jewels. Seeing the Lord present before him, King Nabhi and his priests and associates felt just like poor people who have suddenly attained great riches. They received the Lord and respectfully bent their heads and offered him things in worship. The priests began to offer prayers to the Lord, saying, O most worshipable one, we are simply your servants. Although you are full in yourself, please, out of your causeless mercy, accept a little service from us, your eternal servants. We are not actually aware of your transcendental form, but we can simply offer our respectful obeisances again and again, as instructed by the Vedic literatures and authorized acharyas. Materialistic living entities are very much attracted to the modes of material nature, and therefore they are never perfect. But you are above the jurisdiction of all material conceptions. Your name, form, and qualities are all transcendental and beyond the conception of experimental knowledge. Indeed, who can conceive of you? In the material world, we can perceive only material names and qualities. We have no other power than to offer our respectful obeisances and prayers unto you, the transcendental person. The chanting of your auspicious transcendental qualities will wipe out the sins of all mankind. That is the most auspicious activity for us, and we can thus partially understand your supernatural position. O Supreme Lord, you are full in every respect. You are certainly very satisfied when your devotees offer you prayers with faltering voices and in ecstasy bring you tulsi leaves, water, twigs bearing new leaves, and newly grown grass. This surely makes you satisfied. We have engaged in your worship with many things and have offered sacrifices unto you. But we think that there is no need for so many arrangements to please your lordship. All of life's goals and opulences are directly, self sufficiently, unceasingly, and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. Indeed, you are unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. As far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all these sacrificial arrangements, but they are meant for us so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results and are not actually needed by you. O Lord of Lords, we are completely ignorant of the execution of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, the process of liberation, because we do not actually know the goal of life. You have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship, but actually you are present here just so we can see you. You have come out of your abundant and causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest, and give us the benefit of your personal glory called apavarga, liberation. You have come, although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. O most worshipable of all, you are the best of all benefactors. Your appearance at saintly King Nābhi's sacrificial arena is meant for our benediction. Because you have been seen by us, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. Oh, okay. I thought because we have been seen by you, it would have been. But anyway, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, Nitya Mataji, can
Yes,
you
sir. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Dear
Krishna.
Lord, all the great sages who are thoughtful and saintly persons incessantly recount your spiritual qualities. These sages have already burnt up all the unlimited dirty things and by the fire of knowledge strengthened their detachment from the material world. Thus, they have attained your qualities and are self satisfied. Yet, even for those who feel spiritual bliss in chanting your attributes, your personal presence is very rare. Dear Lord, we may not be able to remember your name, form, qualities due to stumbling, hunger, falling down, yawning, or being in a miserable, diseased condition at the time of death when there is a high fever. We therefore pray unto you, O Lord, for you are very affectionate to your devotees. Please help us remember you and utter your holy names, attributes, and activities which can dispel all the reactions of our sinful lives. Dear Lord, here is the great King Nābhi, whose ultimate goal in life is to have a son like you. Your Lordship, his position is like that of a person approaching a very rich man and begging for a little grain. Maharaj Nābhi is so desirous of having a son that he is worshipping you for a son. Although you can offer him any exalted position, including elevation to the heavenly planets or liberation back to Godhead. Dear Lord, unless one worships the lotus feet of great devotees, one will be conquered by the illusory energy, and his intelligence will be bewildered. Indeed, who has not been carried away by the waves of material enjoyment, which are like poison? Your illusory energy is unconquerable. No one can see the path of this material energy or tell how it is working. O Lord, you perform many wonderful activities. Our only aim was to acquire a son by performing this great sacrifice. Therefore, our intelligence is not very sharp. We are not experienced in ascertaining life's goal. By inviting you to this negligible sacrifice for some material motive, we have certainly committed a great offense at your lotus feet. Therefore, Lord of Lords, please excuse our offense because of your causeless mercy and equal mind. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, these priests, who were even worshipped by King Nābhi, the emperor of Bharatvarsha, offered prayers in prose, generally they were in poetry, and bowed down at the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord of Lords, the ruler of the demigods, was very pleased with them, and he began to speak as follows. The Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, O great sages, I am certainly very pleased with your prayers. You are all truthful. You have prayed for the benediction of a son like me for King Nābhi. But this is very difficult to obtain. Since I am the Supreme Person without a second, and since no one is equal to me, another personality like me is not possible to find. In any case, because you are all qualified Brahmanas, your vibrations should not prove untrue. I consider the Brahmanas who are who are well qualified with Brahminical qualities to be as good as my own mouth. Since I cannot find anyone equal to me, I shall personally expand myself into a plenary person and thus advent myself in the womb of Merudevī, the wife of Maharaj Nābhi, the son of Agnidhara. Sukadeva Goswami continued. After saying this, the Lord disappeared. The wife of King Nābhi, Queen Merudevi, was sitting by the side of her husband, and consequently she could hear everything the Supreme Lord has spoken. The wife of Queen was sitting by the side.
Yeah, last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
O Vishnu Datta, Parikshit Maharaj, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was pleased by the great sages at that sacrifice. Consequently, the Lord decided to personally exhibit the method of executing religious principles as observed by brahmacharis, sannyasis, vanaprasthas, and grihasthas engaged in rituals, and also satisfy Maharaj Nabhi's desire. Consequently, he appeared as the son of Meru Devi in his original spiritual form, which is above the modes of material nature. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yeah. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate gurum yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinitarinam vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you everyone for being here. So this chapter, the appearance in the womb of Merudevi, Ṛṣabhadeva's appearance in the womb of Merudevi. In this chapter, the verses are very interesting. I mean, it's difficult to chant them in meter. Those are like long words, long verses, and so Devanagari verse text. But yeah, so these are like the verses are like this long, and the translations are also like the purports. Like those are like long translations because long verses. But the chapter touches many important points from the beginning to the end. Like in the first verse only we see that Maharaj Nābhi, who was son of Agnidhara, like he wished to have son, and then because he wanted to have son, the first thing he did was tapasya. We see this theme throughout the Bhagavatam, like great devotees, great grihasthas, they did austerity before desiring children. And I think this is even Prabhupada in many of his lectures, he strongly mentions about the danger of Varna Sankara in the Kali Yuga, and how at least those who are practicing devotees and those who are trying to follow on the path of Srila Prabhupada and Bhakti Yoga can, up to their best of abilities, follow this samskara of Garbhadhana samskar. Because it's never mentioned that like, yeah, they just, there is only one pastime like that in case of, is it like, is there a echo? Okay, yeah. So there is only one pastime like that in case of Diti and Kashyap Rishi, and as a result of that, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha was born. But in most of the pastimes throughout the Bhagavatam, we see that this is the child was begetted by parents as a result of tapasya. So Shukdev Goswami, so the Maharaj Nābhi and who are glorious kings. Maharaj Priyavat was pure devotee, and then there was Maharaj Agnidhara, and then Maharaj Nābhi. And Maharaj Nābhi is also Rajarshi, and that's why and he is doing this yajna in the presence, under the shelter of great Brahmanas. So that's how the yajna which was performed was so potent that Lord Vishnu himself appeared in the arena of yajna. So we see that, uh, and the intention of doing this yajna, this sacrifice, was uh, getting a son, and they wanted a son who is like Lord Vishnu. That was their desire. So they perform yajna, and this second verse explains like what all you can offer in the yajna, right? So valuable things, edibles, acting in terms of place, acting in terms of times. These two things are like indicate about the tapasya that you can perform at certain place or at certain muhurta. Offering hymns, which is like a science in itself. So all these things, and uh, nonetheless, Prabhupada says the Lord is affectionate to his devotees. And that's out of affection for those Brahmanas and for the Maharaj Nabhi and Merudevī, Lord appeared himself. It's not the paraphernalia is not that important. Of course, it makes your it in a Pancharatra or in sadhana bhakti, the paraphernalia and the rituals have its own important for a sadhak bhakta. But when it comes to Krishna, the most important thing is bhava. That's what the Guru Maharaj, Param Puja Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he very in detail explained this point in his Disciple Sangha lecture. Maharaj in length talked about Advait Acharya, that Advait Acharya was offering water and tulsi for years for the appearance of the Lord, and the reason was he couldn't see the fallen condition of the people around him, like how much they are attracted towards the uh, materialistic tendencies, and even those who are studying Vedas or like Shastras, they are also into the material part of it and not the pure devotion. And he would cry and he would offer tulsi and water, which was easily available everywhere. Like the water, there was Ganges water and tulsi leaves. Um, to ordinary eyes, it's a plant, and then anyone could get the tulsi leaves. But it was potent enough to please Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he appeared. He descended in this world. Generally, Maharaj was saying, generally, we see that uh, whatever is rare is considered precious, and that is something is offered. For example, gold. Like if the coal was rarer than the gold, then people might have been wearing garlands and ornaments of coal because it's rarer. Um, but in case of Advaita Acharya, he offered the most easily available thing, but the bhav, the bhakti bhav, and his supreme compassion for all jivas pleased the Lord, and he appeared, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to deliver all the fallen souls. So here we see the same situation, similar, to fulfill the desire of Nabhi and Meru Devi, these pure Brahmanas who are non-different from the mouth of the Lord. That's what we see in one of the verses. Um, uh, those Brahmanas perform this yajna, uh, and then the Lord Himself appeared. So in the verse number 5.3.6, we see the Brahmanas are explaining to Lord that, right, O Supreme Lord, you are full in every respect. You are certainly very satisfied when your devotees offer you prayer with faltering voices and in ecstasy bring you tulsi leaves, water, twigs bearing new leaves, and newly grown grass. This surely makes you satisfied. Lord doesn't need like big riches and like the very valuable things to be pleased, and simple things like even if there is no tulsi leaf is available, you can offer any leaves. That's what is mentioned. So tulsi leaves, water, twigs, these simple things can please Lord, and we can get his benediction. So the Prabhupada is quoting this verse from Gautamya Tantra Hari Bhakti, the Hari Bhakti Vilas. Tulsi dala matrena jalasya chulukena va vikrinite swam atmanam bhaktebhyo bhakta vatsalaha. Shri Krishna, who is very affectionate towards his devotees, sells himself to devotee who offers merely a tulsi leaf and a palm full of water. The Supreme Lord is causelessly merciful upon his devotee, so much so that the poorest of men can offer him a little water and a flower in devotion and thus please him. This is due to his affectionate dealings with his devotees. Yeah. Anyone have any comments um, for whatever we discussed till now? Please raise your hand. Yeah. Or I'll wait for a little bit. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll move ahead. So then the Brahmanas are offering prayer. The beautiful form of Lord is explained, like how he appears in the four-handed form with yellow color uh, dhoti and beautiful helmet. Which verse is that exactly? Yeah, this one, right? Yeah, Lord Vishnu appeared before King Nābhi with four arms. He was very bright. He appeared to the best of all the personalities around the lower portion of his body. He wore a yellow silken garment. On his chest was the mark of Srivatsa, which always displays the beauty. He carried a conch shell, lotus flower disc, and club, and he wore a garland of forest flowers and the Kaustuba gem. He was beautifully decorated with a helmet, earrings, bangles, belt, pearl necklace, armlets, ankle belts, and other bodily ornaments bedecked with the radiant jewels. Seeing the Lord present before them, King Nabhi and his priests and associates felt just like poor people who have suddenly attained great riches. They received the Lord and respectfully bent their heads and offered him things in worship. Lord appeared in beautiful form, and yeah, and the Brahmanas and king was in ecstasy, seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. So throughout Bhagavatam, again, this one thing we see that Lord's form is explained, is described again and again, because Srimad Bhagavatam is about all about destroying Kaitava Dharma called Mayavad, Nirvisheshvad, Shunyavad. That's why we also glorify Prabhupada Prabhupada by his pranam mantra, which was given by Prabhupada himself, actually, because at that time uh, no one else was able to compose. Srila Prabhupada gave his own pranam mantra to establish his position and to establish his mood. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Without without the and Srila Prabhupada also chose to name ISKCON as ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We hear about this past time that he was suggested that you can name this as God consciousness. It will be more inclusive. But Prabhupada wanted it very clear who is the person and how is he looks like and why is God and how God looks like and how we should worship. Very clear and very simple process and very clear process. There is no confusion like what needs to be done and whom we should worship and how like there is no scope for imagining the about supreme personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada wanted exact thing, and that's why he named ISKCON as International Society for Krishna Consciousness. As we see, there are a lot of spiritual societies coming from India, especially in those time when Srila Prabhupada came to New York, to USA. There were already so many spiritual groups coming in the USA, and they were preaching mostly Mayavadis, Nirvisheshvad or Shunyavad, uh, like you can be just meditate and mindfulness, heartfulness, these jargons, like not clear word, not exact process, um, and and then some of them, like you can imagine yourself as God, and then this hippie movement of that time, when like by having some drugs they will think themselves as God. So in all this atmosphere, Srila Prabhupada came, and his message was like a heavy surprise during that time, that someone coming is telling that this bluish boy with a flute is supreme personality of Godhead and you should worship him. So it was very radical thought, radical teaching at that time. And but because it's ultimate truth, and that's what Srila Prabhupada believed and taught, it spread throughout the world. So this Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarine. And then we go to verse number 5.3.9. Here, this is 8, 9, yeah. O Lords of Lord, we are completely ignorant of the execution of Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, the process of liberation, because we do not actually know the goal of life. You have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship, but actually you are present here just so we can see you. You have come out of your abundant and causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest, and give us the benefit of your personal glory called Apavarga, liberation. You have come, although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our you have come, although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. The Brahmanas are telling Lord their heart that this is again the mood of the devotees of Lord Vishnu. As we see the example of Ravana and Hiranyakashipu and Bhasmasur, when Lord Shankarji and Brahma appeared before them, they got the boons they wanted, but their mood didn't change. Their desire to lord over material world didn't change. On the other hand, it became stronger. But all the pastimes of Lord Vishnu and his devotees were here, like Dhruva Maharaj. And now, in this case, these Brahmanas, because of whose tapasya yagya Lord appeared himself, uh, it made them more humble, and they were able to see the mercy of Lord Vishnu. In the next few verses, we will see that they are even sad that they did this yagya for a son for Maharaj Nābhi, and they were feeling really bad, and they asked forgiveness from the Lord, that for something like material, like getting a son, we did this yagya, and we wanted to have that blessing. We, with this intention of having this boon, we did this um, yagya and did your worship. So here, yeah, we see this apavarga. This word apavarga, we will see in lot many verses throughout the Bhagavatam. Narayana parasarvena kutaśana bibhyati swarba pavarga. So this apavarga word is opposite of pavarga. In his one of his lectures, Prabhupada explained pavarga as Pavarga means in the Devanagari Lipi, there are these alphabets Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, and after that comes Cha, Cha, Ja, Jha, and after that comes Pa, Fa, Ba, and Bha. So this Pa, Fa, Ba, Bha, this series of four letters is called Pavarga, and the Pa stands for Parabhav, that means defeat. P, and P stands for fain. Fain means like foam from mouth. Fain. And B stands for bandhan. I mean, the bandhan is binding. And Bha is stands for bhiti. Bhiti means fear. So this material planets or this material life is bound by these four things. Pa means parabhav, like you will, whatever one does in the material world, however higher he climbs in material sense, one is sure to be defeated by death, old age, disease, and birth. And pho is fain. Fain means like a foaming from mouth. So foaming from mouth is indication of very hard labor. Like when a horse is made to work really hard, run for long distances, it foams from its mouth. So when someone is not connected to Lord Vishnu or Krishna, they work really hard in this world to establish their position, to gather the riches here, to get a position, fame, uh, expand their family, everything. So in that case, they have to work really, really hard. They are always struggle for existence, and that is called fame or foaming from mouth. They have to work until they foam from mouth. And then for is bandhan. Bandhan or the binding of three modes of material nature. They're always captivated by a certain mode, and then they work under that mode, get dragged into things with rajoguna, dragged into rajasic activities, with tamoguna dragged into tamasic activities, and with sattva guna also. We have discussed many times that sattva guna also drags us into pride in this material world. So bandhan and bhiti, there is always fear. There is always fear of death. There is always fear of losing, and everything is kamala dala jala jivana dalamal. So the life with this material body is as fragile as a drop on the lotus leaf. Lotus leaf is like waxed, so water cannot wet it actually. It's very, so the droplets just slides over and just drops down. So so the our lives are also like that. There is not certainty of anything. There is no certainty about the next moment, and anything can happen. So bha stands for bhiti. So when something is above this pavarga, pa, fa, ba, bha, it is apavarga. And then that apavarga is only liberation. And liberation in the true sense means going back to Godhead in Vaikuntha or in Golok. So we see throughout these verses, the Apavarga word is used at a lot of places, indicating that rising above this all the planetary system, because all these things will be there in even up to Swarga Loka, Brahma Loka. Only in Lord's own abode these things doesn't. Na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavaka, like it doesn't. It's independent of any effect of these three modes of nature or Maya. So give us the benefit of your personal glory called apavarga, liberation. And you have come, although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. They humbly accept that we haven't worshipped you perfectly, even though they did. And then Lord speaks ahead that he says that how pleased he is with the uh, he's pleased with their sacrifice, but still Brahmanas are, because they are true Brahmanas, and they are in their natural state is of being humble. So Lord Vishnu was personally present at the sacrificial arena, but this does not mean that he had any interest in his own personal benefit. Similarly, the Archa Vigraha, the deity in the temple, is present for the same purpose. Out of his causeless mercy, the Supreme Personality of Godhead presents himself before us so that we can see him. Since we have no transcendental vision, we cannot see the spiritual Satchidananda Vigraha of the Lord. Therefore, out of his causeless mercy, he comes in a form we can see. We can only see material things like stone and wood, and therefore he accepts a form of stone and wood, and thus accepts our service in the temple. This is an exhibition of the Lord's causeless mercy. Although he has no interest in such things, in order to receive our loving service, he agrees to act as he does. We cannot actually offer suitable paraphernalia for Lord's worship because we are completely ignorant. It was out of His causeless mercy that Lord appeared in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nābhi. It was causeless mercy of Lord that He appeared just out of His causeless mercy, because there is nothing that can be given to the Lord. He is the sole proprietor of everything in the universe. And with the same reason, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world, and he distributed prema bhakti to those who even like not seeking it, like anyone, everyone who is in this material world. Mahaprabhu empowered his Parshadas to distribute this holy name throughout the world, throughout the universe, and then specially empowered Senapati Bhakta of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who have been prophesized, Srila Prabhupada, who is specially empowered by the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach this Krishna consciousness movement. I was reading an article that which says that like Prabhupada is one of the acharyas in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. That's true, but we have to like understand his very unique position, which is like unprecedented and which has never happened before. Previous acharyas preached to the audience who had some idea about the Vedic civilization. It was in certain geology, in certain civilization related to the Vedas. But Prabhupada preached to people who are completely alien to this, who have no idea about this. Kirat, Unandra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhir, Shumba, Yauna, Khasadaya. These people who are out of the category of Varnashram Vyavastha. And that too, he preached at unprecedented scale. Like from 1968 to 1977, within this 10-11 period of time, Srila Prabhupada established more than 108 temples, many Varnashram communities or farm communities, many schools or gurukulas, and like 70 books whose millions of copies already have been distributed throughout the world. And then uh, the devotees, the so many thousands and thousands of devotees in all the countries of the world. So when Srila Prabhupada was given uh, this Prabhupada, like the honorific Prabhupada, which was again on the suggestion of Srila Prabhupada, his disciples gave him Prabhupada honorific, and many Gaudiya Matha, his god brothers were not happy with this. There, so after this broke, or after Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura's demise, when he left this material world, they decided that no one will accept this this honorific of Prabhupada. And when Tamal Krishna Maharaj mm, was asking Srila Prabhupada about this, that Prabhupada, what we will do? Like, it looks like some of your god brothers are not happy with this. And Prabhupada himself answered to them that it's my disciples who have given me this honorific Prabhupada. And Prabhupada explained to Tamal Krishna Maharaj that in case someone argue about with you or with anyone in ISKCON about this, you can ask them like, have there been anyone who established these many temples and who have inspired these many people in Paschatya Desh outside India and who have distributed so many books? So Prabhupada went way and beyond like Hanumanji to establish his position so that things doesn't remain wishy-washy, and we can be clear about it. As I was mentioning, there are so many institutions throughout the world, and they have their own sadhana, their own way of working, the way of doing their sadhana for spiritual progress. But things you will never find the clarity that Srila Prabhupada gave in terms of whom to follow, what to read, what to do, how to live and how to die. About everything, Srila Prabhupada, from for all kind of people, brahmachari, vanprastha, sannyasi, grihastha, Brahman, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra, all everything for every person, Srila Prabhupada gave complete clarity from end to end. And for that, he went way and beyond to establish his position as founder Acharya, uh, his position as the Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. So it's there is one pastime when Srila Prabhupada went to Montreal, and the temple was new, and they had new board on the temple, that is ISKCON. But when Prabhupada went there and he saw the board, he immediately called the temple president and he asked him like, where is founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada? And then immediately that temple president, he called for painter and placed it there. Prabhupada was so clear about this thing because there can be so many uh, misconceptions and doubts and like can enter into the system if the things are not clear. And for it was mercy of Prabhupada. That's what I heard in some lectures. That it was actually mercy of Prabhupada on us to keep things clear from us and keep us safe from the confusions that can arise in future because of so many reasons. So, so I think it's, and Prabhupada have said multiple times, I mean, in many places, that he is not different from his books. So we can also get that clarity simply by reading Srila Prabhupada's book, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and all other Srila Prabhupada's books. So, so yeah, I also wanted to add something here. This is the characteristic of the being very clear about their position is very strong characteristic of Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati is in his Pranam mantra, it is said that Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine. Like he is there to destroy any philosophy which is against Rupa Goswami's teachings. Because Rupa Goswami was empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself to propagate his teachings. So he strongly condemned any philosophies which is not in line with Rupanuga Siddhanta. That's why our acharyas are also called Rupanuga. And same with Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So in Jaiva Dharma, Bhakti Vinod Thakur mentions a lot of varieties of people who feel some joy in bhakti, and how that joy is very discreetly separate from what a Vaishnava does. For example, he mentions there that even Mayavadi sannyasis, they do Krishna Katha. We see in India all the time, like with a Maharaj, with a sannyasi, Mayavadi sannyasi with a Tripundra Tilak is giving Bhagavad Katha, which is complete disconnect, but they do it lot of the time in India, and they enjoy that katha also. The devotees who are hearing, they also enjoy. There is some kind of happiness, ecstasy they feel out of that katha. So that is, he named it, he mentioned it as Ratyabhas, the happiness of hearing Krishna katha, or joy of hearing Krishna katha, or that abhas of spiritual happiness. When it experienced by a Mayavadi, it's called Ratyabhas. Then there is another category, like some people who are emotional, or especially like ladies, or someone who is emotional by nature. They also feel a lot of joy doing bhakti, and that abhas is called Sattvabhas. And then there are terms for like someone who is an actor. Those who are very good actors, when they act, they actually feel the role. So when they are doing acting of a devotee, they also cry and chant. So they also have some feeling, that is also have certain name. But all of these bhavas are significantly different from what a Vaishnava does, which is called Vaishnava bhav, which only comes when you are connected to a parampara, sampradaya, under a pure devotees, pure spiritual masters, and practice that for a long time, very, very long time. And then that bhav, that the real thing arises. The real thing arises. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this verse comes when like when Vishnudas Kaviraj Goswami is praying for strength to write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says that Bahu Janma Kare Yadi Shravana Kirtan Tabhu Tana Paya Krishna Pade Premadhan. It is translated as if one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for the many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. Bahu janma kare yadi shravana kirtan tabu tana paye Krishna pade prema dhan. If we are not clear about the Siddhanta, and if we are not truly following, if we are not following our acharyas, if you are not clear about Siddhanta, and if you are not trying, then Bahu Janma Kare Yadi Shravana Kirtan, then there is always chance of offenses. And especially when this verse is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, mm, context is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is explaining the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, how they both these personalities are extremely merciful and just here to deliver everyone and each and every one of us. And he says that by mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when you chant Krishna's name, especially Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when you chant this mantra, the heart should immediately melt and the Ashtasattvic Bhava should appear, because the mantra is given by Mahaprabhu, and it's a mercy of Mahaprabhu. But if someone doesn't feel that, then that heart of that person is like iron. And then he comes with this verse that Bahu Janme Kare Adi Shravana Kirtan Tabu Tana Paya Krishna Pade Prema Dhan. So this Kali Yuga, one of the Bhagavatam verses says that this Kali Yuga is full of the analogy is given like it's like ocean. Kali Yuga is like ocean which is full of crocodiles, and doing bhakti is like crossing that ocean. But the problem is these crocodiles they exemplify the various philosophies. There are so many philosophies, and apparently they look very convincing also. Like there is Sadguru, and there is this Sai Baba, and there are so many other, even in among the Vaishnava Sampradayas, there are so many things. Lord of Sampradaya in Vrindavan, on Mayadvi, Navdvip. So one can lose true Siddhanta amidst of all this if one is not strongly sticking to the uh, Shuddha Parampara. And then one can get lost. These crocodiles can in the middle of somewhere in the ocean, when you are trying to cross, it can just destroy you. Again, the bhakti, once bhakta, when one starts bhakti, it's never destroyed. But bhakti needs to be we being complacent or doing sinful activities on the strength of holy name is also aparadh, is also offense. So when someone is going on the path of bhakti, like the real mood is of urgency that we want to go back to Godhead in the same very life. Um, so Bahujanma Kare Jadi Shravan Kirtan. That's why uh, this understanding Siddhanta of Bhakti, what we are following, how we are following, and Srila Prabhupada does all the teachings of the previous acharyas are being condensed by Srila Prabhupada, in the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, in the form of his books. So if we just read Srila Prabhupada books regularly, study them, discuss with our dear devotees, friends, then things will be clear, and then we will be saved from this Bahu Janma Kare Yadi Shravan Kirtan. Tabahutana Pai Krishna Pade Premadhan. And then there is another verse that this one, right? We have discussed this many times in our the Siddhanta Baliye Chitta na kar alash iha haite Krishna lage Sidruda Manas. A sincere student should not neglect the discussion of such conclusions, considering them controversial. For such discussions strengthen the mind, thus one's mind becomes attached to Sri Krishna. Uh, so again, this is about uh, this verse is about we have to learn, we have to train ourselves to learn the Siddhanta and follow the rules and regulation. Ravindra Swarup Prabhu once asked Srila Prabhupada, like Prabhupada, after you leave this world, how this how this big organization like ISKCON will remain in order. Srila Prabhupada said that you just chant your 16 rounds very carefully and follow four regulative principles, and everything will be in order. Then he asked like Prabhupada, that's it? And he said, yes, that's it. That's how I heard this pastime. So Prabhupada have made things really, really simple for us, and all we have to do is uh, follow in those teachings. Uh, then this were thoughtful, and yeah. Then I wanted to discuss about the verse where they acquire knowledge. Yeah, then they glorify. Uh, which are can display all the reactions of please help us remember you. They are asking his help, Lord's help only in remembering him. And so yeah, so in this verse, right, this 13th verse, they are regretting like, dear Lord, here is the King Nabhi whose ultimate goal in his life is to have a son like you. Your lordship, his position is like that of a person approaching very rich man and begging for a little grain. After Lord appeared in front of them, like they were not very happy that they did all this tapasya, this yagya for the to get a son. Maharaj Nabhi is so desirous of having son that he is worshipping you for a son, although you can offer him any exalted position, including elevation to the heavenly planets or liberation back to Godhead. So we see the similar mood of Dhruva Maharaj, right? He went to do all the tapasya, and Lord himself appeared in front of him. And but as soon as Lord touched his conch, in his prayers, he sings the prayer, and on the way back, he feels really sad that I did all this to get some material position. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada says here that the priests were little ashamed that King Nabhi was performing a great sacrifice just to ask the Lord's benediction for a son. The Lord could offer him promotion to the heavenly planets or the Vaikuntha planets. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us how to approach the Supreme Lord and ask him for the ultimate benediction. He said, Na dhanam na janam na sundarim na kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. He did not want to ask Supreme Lord for anything material. Material opulence means riches, a nice family, a good wife, and many followers. But an intelligent devotee doesn't ask the Supreme Lord for anything material. His only prayer is Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhaktad Bhaktir Ahetu Kitavai. He wants to be engaged perpetually in the loving service of the Lord. He does not want promotion to the heavenly planets or mukti, liberation from material bondage. In this were the case, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not have said Mama Janmani Janmani. It doesn't matter to a devotee whether or not he takes birth life after life, as long as he remains a devotee. Yeah, like in one of the class, I was hearing that this when we take initiation is very quick process actually, right? Your spiritual master gives you a name and the beads to chant, but the commitment is lifelong and it can be of many births also. The process can be really long. Uh, but the devotee patiently waits for the mercy of the Lord. Tatyanu kampasu shamikshamaну bhunjana evam krutam vipakam. And by waiting, by patiently waiting for this, the devotee achieves the mercy of the Lord. And recently, I came to know about the Bhrugupati Prabhu, who is one of the Prabhupada disciples. He is based in Los Angeles. So Bhrugupati Prabhu joined ISKCON when he was 18 years old. And since then, he every day goes out in the morning to distribute books, comes back, goes in the morning, do his morning sadhana, goes out to distribute books, comes back. So for 50 years, for 50 plus years, he's doing this. And I saw him once, and he's like happy like kid, like jumping around, asking questions in the classes, in very different mood. And he says that like I don't have any taste, or I mean, so I think this is result of like following Prabhupada's teachings, that we see in Raghupati Prabhu. So I think, and that's how, and then Lord speaks. He's very happy with the all the prayers and the sacrifice done by Brahmanas. He also glorified them, and then Lord appears uh, as their son. Yeah, and that's how this chapter ends. And then from the next chapter, we will see uh, the glories of Ṛṣabhadeva, and how he ruled the kingdom, whatever his divine qualities, and how he takes Vanaprastha sannyas and hand overs the kingdom to his sons. So that will be very interesting chapter. So one more thing I wanted to share. So I think last week was Jayanand Prabhu's disappearance day. So Jayanand Prabhu is the only disciple of Srila Prabhupada, for which Prabhupada wrote a letter after he left his body, and it was published in Back to Godhead magazine. And he instructed all the temples to celebrate his disappearance day as festival in ISKCON temples, and also uh, recommended to put his picture on the like on the Rath in every Rath Yatra. So that is Jayanand Prabhu. There is so much to read and learn about Jayanand Prabhu. I mean, I heard some classes about it, and those are overwhelming actually, looking at the pure character of Jayanand Prabhu. But I wanted to like read this letter with all of you. So I will just read it, and then we will conclude this class. So this is the letter that written by Prabhupada after Jayanand Prabhu left body. He died very kind of young, at age of 40, around 40, by leukemia. But before that, he did so much service, and like his character was so pure, like he just came to serve Prabhupada like that. So my dear Jayananda, please accept my blessings. I am feeling very intensely your separation. In 1967, you joined me in San Francisco. You were driving my car and chanting Hare Krishna. You were the first man to give me some contribution, $5,000, for printing my book Bhagavad Gita. After that, you have rendered very favorable services to Krishna in different ways. I so hope at the time of your death you were remembering Krishna, and as such, you have been promoted to the eternal association of Krishna. If not, if you have any tinge of material desire, you have gone to the celestial kingdom to live with the demigods for many thousands of years and enjoy the most opulent life of material existence. From there, you can promote yourself to the spiritual world. But even if one fails to promote himself to the spiritual world, at that time he comes down again on the surface of this globe and takes birth in a big family like a yogis or a brahmanas or an aristocratic family, where there is again chance of reviving Krishna consciousness. But as you were hearing Krishna Kirtan, I am sure as you were hearing Krishna Kirtan, I am sure that you were directly promoted to Krishna Loka. जन्म कर्म च मे दिवम एवं यो वेत्ति तत्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहम पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सो अर्जुन. Krishna has done a great favor to you, not to continue your diseased body, and has given you a suitable place for your service. Thank you very much. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jayanand Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, everyone. Uh, I didn't give much chance to anyone to speak in between. Sorry for that. But yeah, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Please, any corrections, comments, questions, please share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very beautifully led, Prabhu. Thank you so much. You went into each verse in detail. I loved how you were putting in gems about Prabhupada, about how he established the movement. Yeah, even um, I also heard in a recent class that actually the second verse of Prabhupada's Pranati, Namaste Saraswati Devi, that was actually composed by Prabhupada himself. And as you mentioned, that actually it clarified Prabhupada's one of Prabhupada's very important missions, which is to Nirvishesha Shunyavada, to refute that, to refute impersonalism and voidism. So yeah, very very nice. And yeah, I loved how you gave like examples of people like Bhrigupati Prabhu and others, Jayanand Prabhu to conclude as well, which is really sweet. And yeah, I remember one more devotee called Raghava Prabhu. He was also a brahmachari, and then he left his body suddenly in a car accident.
Yeah.
Some of you might know this story. And then later on, this Raghav Das Brahmachari, he got reincarnated as a Mataji in London, and that Mataji is still there. She's still living there, and she's a disciple of Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So yeah, and it's a very detailed story of how this Mataji got, very very vivid dreams she would get, and it affected her a lot actually. Yeah, it's very. There is no time to get into the details, but in any case, she discovered through various means and everything that she was actually this devotee, this Prabhupada disciple in her previous life. And then when this devotee passed away, Prabhupada was still on the planet, and he was informed that this devotee passed away in an accident. And then Prabhupada had written that we should hold a memorial service for this devotee, and then because this devotee served Krishna so nicely, he will get a chance to continue their bhakti in the next life. And yeah, there is I mean, again, this is nowhere like officially authenticated, but then in her memories, this Mataji, her name is Ratnavali Mataji, she says that looks are very strikingly similar to the girl on whom this Raghav Das Brahmachari, he had a heart on. So he was actually attracted to one girl when he was a brahmachari, and then apparently he thought of that girl when he left the body. So he got a woman's body in his next life, and this Ratnavali Mataji has much a lot of resemblance with that Mataji, and she actually met this his previous life's crush, so to say. So yeah, Prabhupada's words are very strong, very potent. They don't go in vain actually. So whenever Prabhupada says that yes, this devotee has gone back to Godhead, that is, they have gone back to Godhead. Or if Prabhupada says that yes, this devotee will get a chance in the next life, then yes, that is what is going to happen. But anyway, just something about that. But thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much for reading, Prabhu. Very
yeah,
beautifully.
thank you for reminding this story. Actually, there is a documentary about this on
Yes,
YouTube.
Prabhu. Bhakti Charu Swami actually promotes this story a lot. And I sent the link on the chat. So about the reincarnation of
So yeah,
what
we will
Prabhuji
also
just shared. Yeah.
share on WhatsApp, right? So that it doesn't get lost. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. And also, Vaisheshika Maharaj just 3 days ago read the letter that you just read, Prabhu, in ISV. And I
Oh.
put the link of that in YouTube also. It's so interesting that you also read the same letter. And I was very touched by that because Maharaj talked about Jayananda Prabhu, and he mentioned two things. He's very submissive, which Srila Prabhupada really appreciated, and he had amazing service attitude. So Vaisheshika Maharaj mentioned that these are two qualities that Srila Prabhupada really appreciated in his disciples. So I put the link of that also on the group. But overall, this class was brilliant, Prabhu. I mean, the way you explained Pavarga and Apavarga. Actually, Prabhupada mentions that several times in several purports, especially in Nectar of Instruction also, and even in the Bhagavatam, I think Jagannath Gopal Prabhu also put. But Pavarga is something that Prabhupada several times mentions about the entire material world, how these five letters, it is completely demonstrated. So, and brilliant. I mean, you touched upon every aspect about the holy names, about Srila Prabhupada, about the Guru Parampara, how we should be committed to our Guru Parampara, because, and also the highlight for me was how Srila Prabhupada has given everything to us, what to read, how to live in a very simple way. And I loved the example of Ravindra Swarup Prabhu also. I've heard that also, which was very touching, because Prabhupada just said that if you just follow the four regulative principles and chant 16 rounds, that's all you need to do. This movement will continue. So, yeah, very, very touching and brilliant class, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Vamshidhar Gopal Prabhu, for, so nicely enlightening us. It was very sweet, it was nectarian, and it was spoken with so much humility also. So, yeah, it's
Thank you, Prabhu.
something that
Thank
I'll
you for
hear again and
summarizing.
again, your class. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. We are just following you in whatever way we can. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for summarizing. Even now I remember what all I shared. Thank you.
This you mentioned about, at one point you mentioned about, understanding Prabhupada's teachings properly so that there are no misconceptions and all that. Yeah, it was. I'm just thinking about the current whole issue going on between
Yeah,
Ritviks and us. Yeah, I was just thinking how, how misconceptions can form, and
yeah, there is so much scope for this, like forming misconceptions, and then especially new people, right? I remember someone from my college days was sending me link like, what is this issue? Can you explain? So yeah, that's why I think high time to stick to Prabhupada's teachings.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I think we're at time. So okay. Hare Krishna. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की
Jai,
Jai,
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
Jai.
Jai,
जय।
His Grace Vamshidhar Gopal Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Hare
Jai.
Krishna.